everybody. It's Emily and Katie coming to you from WP Fusion. We're going to be talking about an interesting topic today related to WP Fusion. This is a part of our series where we're building a website step by step with you live. Katie's developing their own business right now in real time online, and we're using the tech of WP Fusion and WordPress to build it out. And we're going to be continuing that series today with episode 2. What are we going to be talking about today, Katie?
Today, we will be talking about follow-up emails after a customer has made a purchase. So initially, I was really interested in this because I'm offering services where appointments are needed. And we talked about ways in which you can send a follow-up email automatically after a customer makes a purchase, which also allows them to schedule some time with you on your calendar. And Emily is going to work her magic, and we're going to show you all how to do this today in just half an hour. Can you believe it? It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And so we are going to implement a few things in today's video. We're going to add a CRM to our website. For this tutorial, we're going to be using Groundhog in the backend of WordPress for our CRM. We're going to be using SureCart for our e-commerce system. So we're going to be selling through SureCart, and then we're going to use WP Fusion to connect Groundhog and SureCart so that we can send a follow-up email after someone purchases a product. They'll be able to receive a thank you email. But also, do you think you could explain, Katie, a little bit about what you're doing with the follow-up email, what the product is you're selling, and what the email will contain as a follow-up after purchase?
Yeah, absolutely. So the site is called Holding the Grief, and what I am offering are grief sessions, grief coaching sessions, death doula sessions, anything in which folks need assistance when there has been a transition in their life of any sort. And so when someone goes to either book a consult call with me or book a full-time session, they will be able to do so on my website. And when they click to purchase, it will take them to SureCart, and they will be able to continue that purchase. And then what I really needed was a really welcoming, kind email when someone did make that connection, reached out for that initial need, and sent them a calendar invite that wasn't just a general calendar invite, also was a part of my availability. So I didn't double book anybody. And I think this is, I'm sure a lot of people relate to this, but highly important when doing work like this, when people are in states of grief, or maybe there's like a place that some clients come to your business and might be in some state of anxiety. And so double booking someone could, create a rupture in a relationship that you're just forming. So Emily said, no worries, we got this. This is super easy. So I'm going to let her take it away.
Yeah. So jumping to the WordPress instance, this is the site that y'all might recognize if you watched the first episode of how to install your theme and how to build your brand. On the back end of WordPress here, we have SureCart already installed. Katie put a few products on here already. And so with these products, which one are we going to be doing today? Is it the grief guide session or the
let's do the grief guide session. Let's do the virtual one. Both of those have cost associated to them, so should be easier.
Awesome. So we'll do the grief guide session virtual today. And the first thing we'll want to do is make sure our CRM is installed. Like I said, in this video, we're going to be using Groundhog. Fluent CRM is another one that's popular that you can use in the back end of WordPress, but you can also use third-party applications with WP Fusion like ActiveCampaign or Keep or Salesforce or a bunch of other third-party systems. Today we're going to stick in the back end of WordPress because we're trying to make a site that's really simple and contained for now. So having all of this in one site will be really useful for us. So Groundhog's going to take us through a little bit of a guided setup here. I don't really think we need this right now. I'm going to install as well an email log plugin. One thing we might talk about in a future show is SMTP settings and how to make sure your emails are going through if you're doing something from the back end of WordPress like Groundhog or Fluent CRM. But for now, we're just going to take an email log. and add it to the back end. This will capture all the emails that we are trying to send out of the back end of WordPress and store them so that we can view them right on the back end.
Great.
Sometimes when you run a system like this out of the back end of WordPress, your emails don't go through to the inbox, and so you have to set up a solution for it, but we're going to skip that today.
Got it.
So here's our email log. Will be right here. So if our website tries to send any emails, we'll be able to see it right there. Our groundhog is installed, and so we have our SureCart as well. The last piece we'll need to connect all this together is WP Fusion. So 3 pieces today: Groundhog, SureCart, and WP Fusion. I'm going to go to Plugins, Add New, and upload the WP Fusion plugin that I purchased. And go here, WP Fusion, add that. Give it some time to load. Maybe we already had it on here. Replace with current upload.
And would you mind explaining exactly what WP Fusion is doing here and why we need it?
Yeah. And let me know if I'm breaking up at all, since my internet connection is unstable.
You're loud and clear to me.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so WP Fusion in this scenario will connect SureCart and Groundhog. How it works is we have people buying a product through SureCart. They're buying that virtual product, and then we want them to receive an email from Groundhog. And so how we're going to do that is by giving the users a tag in Groundhog when they purchase a SureCart product. Groundhog leverages this funnel system in order to send automated emails. And it's going to make me go through the setup wizard to show you this. I'm just going to skip all of this. We don't need any of this stuff. I'll show you what these funnels look like. We don't need any of this. Skip all the setup for the demo. We don't need any of this. Let me see the funnel page.
So I got to think about it. We went so fast.
Yeah, there's a lot there that's good to set up with Groundhog. Like, what's your mailing address? Configure your cron jobs. Make sure you have your list uploaded from your previous emails. There's a lot you could set up within Groundhog specifically, but for us today, we just want to get right in to what WP Fusion is going to do for us. And so with Groundhog, how WP Fusion is going to connect this is Groundhog uses our funnel system here. So we can say a benchmark for a funnel to start the funnel is when a tag is applied, and then an action is to send an email. So when a tag is applied, we'll send an email and we'll create a tag that was purchased the Grief Consulting virtual product. So we'll go here, Grief Guide Session, and then we'll go back over here. Let's create a tag. You can go to tags here on the left-hand side, but we can also add a tag right here. And I'm going to say purchased Grief Guide. That's going to be the name of our tag. So we're going to add that as a tag. And then, so when this tag is applied, we're going to send a custom email. And then WP Fusion is going to facilitate applying that tag to the contact when something is purchased in SureCart. And then we can also do other follow-up email sequences, but for now, let's get that one rolling. So you have already written an email, right? A follow-up email that we can just copy and paste in here, which
Absolutely.
is really good. Let's see. I have it copied right here from my other window. So we can actually create a new email within Groundhog, start from scratch, and we can modify and style this up a little bit later, but for now, let's just drop everything in and see if we can format it well. So we have a link to schedule our call. Maybe we'll drop that in here. Schedule your call here. And then we'll choose an on-brand color that is not red as well.
Great.
The emojis didn't transfer over quite the way we want them to. I think we can We can insert emojis though. You got a heart yellow. And that'll be there.
And Emily,
Yeah.
I think I messed up because I think that one that I gave you was for the consult call. I actually already have the other one as well. Can I give it to you really quick? Since you
Yeah,
plugged in the
totally.
right one. So sorry. Last
No, you're
minute,
good.
I led you. I led you astray. It was my fault.
No, it's all
Okay.
good.
I have sent it to you as of now. Ding.
Thank you for booking your call. Okay, awesome. So
Thank
copy
you.
this. Yeah, no problem. So here we'll paste it back in. Let's replace these emojis with a calendar emoji, and then we have the incoming mail emoji. This one, and then the yellow heart. Okay, so we have schedule your call here. This goes to the 30-minute Calendly that you had set up, and let's just make sure this looks good for a landing page. This is perfect. So once people buy, they'll get access to this link. They can select a time that works for them, and then it'll just allow them to set up their coaching session.
Perfect.
Please schedule a session time that works best for you. And maybe we'll copy this section down here. Like that. Like this. Let's delete that. And so with Groundhog, we're going to need a different first name parameter. I think it's called replacements first name.
Perfect. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it's always good to add in your own brackets where the merge tags will be. I know sometimes if we forget to add those in, we'll end up sending emails to static names, and people will be like, "Who's Holly?" Like everyone's getting the email that says, "Hi, Holly."
Yeah.
Thank you for booking your virtual compassion call. I appreciate you taking the first step. Okay, great. So we'll just add are during our time together. Next steps, please book a time that works best for you. Once booked on a call. My scrolling thing went weird. Okay, there we go. Assist, I look forward to holding this space. Okay, let's preview our email and see what it looks like. Desktop preview. It's really tight over on the left-hand side, but I think, is this like a plain text email? It might be. It might be.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's the plain text.
There it is.
I can send a test email to you. And we'll see in our email log what it looks like.
Perfect.
Didn't do it. Email created. Something went wrong.
That's okay. No.
Let's just send it to an existing contact. And then check our email log. See if it's in there.
Oh, so the email log will also show you what you've sent.
Yeah. It gives us. It has some weird spacing here on the top, but really the email will start right here.
Okay, gotcha.
And the spacing looks a little goofy, and I don't know if this is like styled up exactly the way you want it to be, but we can always edit this a little bit later. But for now, we have the concept in place that our email will send when the tag is applied. So I'll just publish this for now.
Perfect.
And once that updates, so we have send this custom email, and I guess it's coming from Jack, so we can change that too. But
WP Fusion has infiltrated the scene.
Yes. We're doing automation training and grief counseling when your automation training fails you, or when you're frustrated and experiencing grief. So this is our purchased grief guide session. I'll just copy this. This will be our funnel name, follow up, and you can always change this.
Okay, great.
And so that's our funnel to send someone a follow-up email when they get that tag. And now we're going to connect it with SureCart. And this is where WP Fusion comes into play with this. So jumping into SureCart, editing our grief guide session virtual, we will have an option for integrations on this page. So that is down here, integrations, select an integration. And with WP Fusion, we can, am I connected to HubSpot? Let me re-look at the WP Fusion settings here. I guess we didn't connect WP Fusion to Groundhog. I'm going to make sure I don't reveal my license key. So I'm going to visit this page first and then make sure we're on Groundhog. Because I forgot we didn't even tour the settings. I'm going to reset my WP Fusion by checking the box and clicking Save Changes. I'm going to quickly and sneakily enter my license key so that WP Fusion will let me do my thing, and then I'll share my screen again.
And I think we have some really good blog and video entries on how to connect Groundhog to WP Fusion. So maybe I'll plug those in the chat just for additional support here.
Yeah, that sounds great. And so when you go to settings WP Fusion for your first time, I just reset mine, but you'll be asked to enter your license key and you'll be asked to select your CRM. I'm going to choose Groundhog and I'm going to do it Groundhog on this website. Some people will do a Groundhog instance on a separate website where they're connecting via an API. And so that's an alternate option you can do. But for now, we're going to do Groundhog on this website. And now that WP Fusion's integrated, if I visit SureCart again, we should have WP Fusion's connected to Groundhog and SureCart is automatically detected by WP Fusion. So let's go to our product, edit the product, add new integration, and then we'll select from here. It looks like the product is taking a moment to load. In integration, we'll select apply a tag in Groundhog, and then we're going to say purchased grief guide session virtual. So when this product is purchased, you're going to grab that apply tag for grief guide session virtual. And so that is how we'll integrate here. Now let's go through the process of doing a test purchase and see if our test email goes out. Make sure this all works. So I need to add a price, I believe. I didn't see a pricing, so let's add a price. This is the sample price. We can choose that $100. Create a price. And if you want to see more detailed work in SureCart specifically, or in Groundhog specifically, or in any tool that WP Fusion integrates with, in future tutorials we can dive into it, so let us know in the comments below what you want to see. So now we are on the grief guide session virtual, and I'm going to view the contact in Groundhog, because what should happen is when we purchase this product, we will get the tag, and then we will receive our email. Right now we have no tags on our contact. I'm logged in as Katie, so we have no tags. And so if we go through this process, we're on our SureCart shop page, we add our cart, add our product to cart, checkout. I think we're in test mode, so we should be able to just breeze right through the checkout.
Awesome.
Our country, just put in a test address. No, don't save that in 1Password. This is not what I want to save in 1Password. This is all test information, and then test processor. Test processor, that's great. So I'm going to purchase in test mode. It'll give me a moment to complete this. Finalizing my order. Thank you. Your payment was successful. A receipt is on its way to your inbox. So someone has purchased here, and then we can go back to our contact and reload. Hopefully we should have our tag. We do have the tag. Katie has purchased the grief guide session. And then if we look at our email log, we should also see that, is this the email receipt or what is this? No, this is it. This is the one. So thank you for purchasing. Here's the link to schedule the call. That would have gone out to your inbox. And so that's how we can do an automated sequence that follows up a purchase in SureCart into an email funnel in Groundhog that's powered by WP Fusion. And in this case, we're just sending a single follow-up email and saying, hey, here's the link to book the call. But you can also do something more advanced in the Groundhog funnel system where you could give people multiple tags. You could promote other products to them now that they've purchased this one. You could delay a certain amount of time. And if they haven't booked their call, you could send them a follow-up email. You could add them to a customers list. You could do a lot of things as a follow-up to them having purchased, because now the CRM has access to all the data that goes on within SureCart. And that's a pretty cool system for doing it. And if the website, or when the website gets even more advanced, you might be offering courses or a membership. And so you can say you can have advanced logic in your CRM that's like, if they've purchased the call and they're not enrolled in the membership, we want to send them an email to promote them to sign up for the membership, maybe with a discount. And so we can do really cool stuff like that, all powered by WP Fusion when we combine all our WordPress tools with our CRM.
Awesome. But, yeah. That's super helpful. And I think we have achieved what we set out to do. Look at that.
Yes. We have, is there any feedback you have or anything else you want to change or add to what we set up today? Or are you happy with what we did so far?
Yeah, I think this is a good starting point and gives me a point to kind of work with. And before I was a little bit clueless, like, how do I make this work? How do I ensure that people get immediate communication, that my clients are engaged with right off the bat, know that I have professional products set up that will be delivered to them immediately. And I feel with what we were able to do today, that took us less than half an hour, we were able to do that. And setting up an online business seems pretty approachable in this way. And I'm really excited to continue on this journey, because if we can do this in 30 minutes, I don't even know what we're going to do next time.
Right. Yeah. And there's, as far as anyone who's interested in exploring SureCart a little bit more with WP Fusion, WP Fusion has the opportunity to apply a tag when somebody views a page. So if you have logged in users on your website, or people who've subscribed for an opt-in, you can apply tags on their contact. And what we can do with the WP Fusion settings, which we didn't talk about, but over here on the right side, if somebody views the product, right here, apply tags on view, you could send them an email that says, hey, I saw you viewed the product. Why didn't you buy it? Or like, here's a coupon. You can get really granular with the... I
like that. That's super interesting. Or like, I think something we talked about maybe going over in the next call is utilizing the blog as marketing engagement. And I've written some entries. And so that would be a really cool thing, is like, I noticed that you were looking at this product. Here's a blog post I wrote supporting this product, or maybe something to help you during this time as this engagement, like lead magnet almost, Yeah. And I'm really excited to do that. I think something we discussed is working with the menu bar next time, and maybe a subscribe button to get more marketing tools embedded into the site.
Yeah, that sounds great. We could do a whole deep dive on getting people from your menu or from your blog posts into your funnel and into your paid content from your funnel. So that sounds like a great topic.
I'm excited.
Nice. Well, thank you everyone so much for joining us. This is episode 2 of our series. We'll be back for episode 3 probably next week at the same time. And we'll be diving into how you can use WP Fusion to integrate your menus and your free content like blog posts into your email funnel and thus into your sales pipeline. So we'll see you there.
Do
go
you
ahead.
mind if
Go ahead.
I just acknowledge that this comment, I just want to know we're reading it. Would be nice to have some sort of dashboard for logged in members. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we could talk
So
about that next week.
we could talk about that. That's going to be something like a member platform. So we could use like an LMS tool like Lifter LMS or LearnDash. We could use MemberPress for paid memberships pro. I guess I have a question we could say here for a moment. Bill, you're in chat. Can you let us know, have you looked at or considered a membership tool? Are you using a membership tool already? Or would you be looking to do this all with WP Fusion, which we could do? We could probably do with just WP Fusion.
WP Fusion could do so much.
Yeah, we would use probably the WordPress login widget. We could customize it a little bit. And then when users are logged into our site, we could display certain elements and kind of create ourselves a dashboard page. That would be, I use WP Fusion for memberships. Yeah, so that would be, I wonder if this, we could just, I could look up a vague answer to this right now. Just
Sounds very interesting. I agree, Bill Deer 86.
Does WP Fusion have a shortcode for login? It doesn't. I think we would need some kind of login product. So we'd probably use the WP admin login, but we could customize it a little bit. And so it doesn't say WordPress at the top. It would have your own logo. And then when people log in, they could be sent to this custom page, which would just be pages, add new, create a dashboard page, and then we would display items on that page based on tag, which we could absolutely do with WP Fusion and block visibility. So yeah, we could talk about that as well.
Maybe that could be episode 4. Episode 4 seems like it would be good to deep dive into.
Yeah, we could absolutely deep dive. And they say that they use WooCommerce for the account screen. So WooCommerce, yeah, that's something we can build on top of because WooCommerce provides you with a login page. So we could talk about that. And I'm sure SureCart does something similar. But yeah, the WooCommerce login page is just a short code. You can't really customize it very much. But in WP Fusion, we could highly customize that. So that's
Great.
awesome.
Well, thank you, Bill Deer 86, for the comment and the idea. This is really what we hope to see in the chat. We want to know what y'all want to learn about, and it's going to make me a better small business owner. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we'll talk about WooCommerce and how to customize with WP Fusion. But thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week, and we'll teach you more about engaging people with WP Fusion onto your website. Much love to all of you. We'll see you next week.